Hi, and welcome to the Douglas On My Mind Show. I'm Blondell Thomas, the City of Douglas Public Information Manager, and we are here now with our October edition of the show, and we'll be right back after this. Hi, and welcome back to the Douglas On My Mind Show. I am here now with Mr. Jerome Lovin, the American Legion Post 515. He is the Post Service Officer with the American Legion here, and he is very active in our community, and we appreciate you being here today to talk to us a little bit about Wreaths across America.
Thank you for having me. We appreciate every opportunity we get to talk to the good citizens of Douglas, and I also want to thank the citizens of Douglas for all they've done and continue to do for us and all the programs that we do. So we couldn't do it without you.
That's right. Now, some people may not realize it, but Wreaths Across America is already underway. Tell us what is Wreaths Across America and how the American Legion here helps with that each year.
Well, before I get to that, I want to tell you the American Legion is the world's largest veterans organization, over 2 million strong, with a purpose of serving veterans, their families, and the community. And you say we're active. Yes, we are, because we do our best to live up to that purpose. Now, Wreaths Across America is a 501c nonprofit organization. It's observed every year the second and third Saturday in December. And the goal is for nationally to put wreaths on veterans' graves in national cemeteries.
Oh, yeah.
And is observed all across the United States and 24 foreign countries. But several years ago, when we learned about this program, we said, okay, why should not veterans get the same thing?
That's right.
So we started one cemetery, and our goal is to put a flag and wreath on every veteran's grave of Coffee County. So
that's a lot of flags and wreaths.
It's a lot, but we're going to do our best to do it. Now, the theme for this year is Be an American Worth Fighting For. So I asked the citizens, and some of you are, but are you an American worth fighting for? Because so many veterans have fought and died for the freedom we have. Right. So that is the theme, and the mission: remember, honor, teach. Remember those that have gone on and no longer here that fought for the freedoms that we have today. Honor those that are currently serving and their families defending freedom all over the world, at home and abroad. And then the toughest task of all is to teach our young about the sacrifices made for the freedom they enjoy, because it's been a tough battle. Right. And we're gonna try to make sure that happens.
Now, you spoke about Wreaths Across America normally happening the second or third weekend in December. What date is it this year that they will be coming to Douglas?
Well, the program, a ceremony, will be December the 19th. Okay. Because we don't control when the wreaths arrive. Okay. So we do our best to get it international, the numbers, and then they determine, and we have volunteers to go up with the trucks, and they bring them back. And I may find out the day before when they're going to arrive. But that has not been a problem for us, because our great citizens, they get the call, they get the Facebook message or text, and they show up, and we get it done.
Yeah, I know you also have a lot of youth volunteers too that help.
Yeah, we do, but not enough.
Right.
We get the CCA Leo Club or CCA, many of their kids come out 50 more each year to help us put the flags and the wreaths. The CHS NGROTC, and we got Ambrose Elementary. They take on one cemetery and they go out after school and do that, which means this is a good opportunity for youth to earn community service hours. Right. Just come out and do something patriotic with their time. So that's a good thing to do.
About how many cemeteries or how many veterans' graves do you expect that y'all will try to place a wreath and a flag on this year?
Well, we're planning for veterans in 77 cemeteries and over 2,800. That's our plan. Yeah. And I'm going to say that again. That's our plan. And that is dependent on the support we get as far as raising the funds. And I'm going to say that we understand, and we've been conscious of not just going out asking for donations as we've done in the past. Right. Because we don't know the situation of families and individuals. And also we adhere to the CDC and the state guidance on COVID as far as social distancing. And could you imagine us sitting for days in front of a building, and everybody walking by, passing money,
That's a
breathing
lot
all
of
over it.
people. Mm-hmm.
And Boston Bud Sale, we've done that. We're going in and
Right.
out of places, and the potential of carrying the virus is there. So we're depending on the public to help us more this year than normal. And so far, we seem to be getting pretty good, but we still need some help.
Okay, okay. How much are the flags and wreaths, and where should, like, if somebody does want to make a donation, how much should that donation be? Or, I mean, is there a deadline to donate? Just give some little bit more specifics on it.
You know, let's start by saying every little bit helps. Because if we just say, give me this, give me that, then they can't afford it.
Right.
But the actual cost of a wreath is $15.
Okay.
That's what a wreath costs. But we ask that any donation, anything you can do, we'll take it. And the flags this year, we didn't have to order flags, so they cut down on the cost because we reuse the flags over and over. And that cut down some of the cost. But $15 a wreath, and if you want to donate, they can make checks payable to and mail to American Legion Post 515,
Okay.
P.O. Box 2094, Douglas, Georgia 31534. But I was informed by a great contributor this year, said, why don't you establish a Venmo account? So we did a Venmo account, and that is at symbol uppercase A for American Legion, uppercase L for Legion, uppercase P Post, and 515. So at American Legion Post 515, and each of the first letters are uppercase. Of course, as always, call Jerome and he'll come running.
Right, there you go.
I'll meet him, pick it up. So that's how they can do it. But the key thing is, again, every little bit helps. And if you can't, we understand. And whatever you send, we will put it toward Wreaths Across America. Oh, by the way, if you do it, try to put the name of the veteran and or the cemetery that you're supporting on the bottom left hand of your checks. That way, because I got this list here that I got names of cemeteries and so on, how many. And when it comes, I attach that to it because that tells me where we need to put funds.
Okay.
And we probably talk about that a little later on.
Okay, yep, we'll cover it all. Now, you also have another fundraiser to help with Wreaths Across America. Tell us a little bit about the other thing that you're doing to try to raise some money.
Okay, before I do that, I'll say for fun, we sent out a postcard to about 400 people, those that have given in the past. Just a reminder, if you can, send it in and to the address we talked about.
Okay.
But the one fundraiser we're able to do, and which means we don't have minimum contact, is a T-shirt.
Right.
It's T-shirt and a polo shirt. Now the the T-shirts from sizes youth extra small to XL, and adult size to 5XL are $12 as a T-shirt. The polos are $25 for size adult extra small to 6XL.
Okay.
And any size above XL is another $2 added on per X. So, but to order, you can call me. I got order forms. I'll get you the form. But I think that's a good way you can get something back for your contributions. And what we want you to do is consider wearing these T-shirts.
That's also advertisement.
Yeah, wear them. We got Veterans Day coming up. Then we got Pearl Harbor Day coming up.
Right.
Then we got Wreaths Across America Day.
Okay.
So schools, you hear that? That's a good day to wear them around the school.
That's right.
And those adults get the polo shirts, and that's what they look like. And that's the one fundraiser we got, and we appreciate that support.
Okay, all right. Now, how does a person get involved to sponsor a wreath? And we touched a little bit, talked about the youth volunteers. Just tell us how can those people get involved and help y'all out?
Well, customarily, they Facebook me or call me and say, we have a veteran that we want a wreath for. That's to sponsor a particular veteran. Also, if they want to help us place flags and wreath, the same process. And they Facebook me or call me. I'll give them what information I have. And on that contact list, I send out text, Facebook messages all the time. So you don't need an appointment to show up. Okay. You see where we're going to be, show up, and do what you can do. Right. That's all we ask. But my phone number is 912-592-6413. And it's all over everywhere already. So
it is.
But again, it's an excellent opportunity for kids to earn some community service hours. But I already talked about the schools that we already have that's helping. Right. But we need more, and especially this year because Jerome is getting broken down. He can't work as hard as he used to.
Oh, Now, if somebody wants to help out, that you said they just show up at the cemetery, but how will they know which cemeteries y'all are going to?
Okay, now,
Just let them contact you? Or?
Yeah, if they contact me, then I'll get in touch with the point of contact for that cemetery, because we do have volunteers. There's no way that Post 515 can cover 77 cemeteries.
That's right.
And we're thankful for all of those civilian volunteers that say, Jerome, we'll take this, we'll take that. We got some churches, and like I say, Ambrose Elementary, with the help from us, they do that one. But just call, and we'll link them up with a date and time. But the one we need the most help with is the Douglas City Cemetery.
Right.
And that will be all over Facebook and all over textbook,
Yes.
text when the time comes.
Okay.
So that's putting flags out and the wreaths.
Well, speaking about the cemetery, how do you identify the veterans' graves in these cemeteries? Because some of the older cemeteries, they may not have markers. So how do you do that?
Well, the primary source is military marker.
Okay.
And you mentioned older cemetery. We're dealing with trying to get a marker for some of our World War II veterans that don't have markers. But it's a military marker is how we identify. And if the family member wants to get one for their loved one, they can Google VA Form 40-1330. The instructions and the application are there, or just call me again. I will meet them, give it, and help them with the application when I run there.
Yes, you will.
And help guide them through. But there are some veterans' graves that are not marked.
Right.
Therefore, we may miss those veterans' graves. So we need family members or someone that'd be the perfect time to come out and help to make sure we don't miss that person. However, if we do, call me. I've been out in the rain to make sure it happens, because our goal is to not miss one veteran.
Right.
And part of these cemeteries we're talking about, for instance, the individual say, I want to put a wreath on my loved one's grave. And in that cemetery, there are 20 more veterans. We are obligated to put a flag and a wreath on every veteran's grave in that cemetery. That's our goal, because you know, I just can't look at a veteran here, look at one there, and walk away.
And say which one deserves it more. I mean, you don't.
Why should we have to decide who gets one? So this is where, when an individual calls, there's an obligation and a commitment. I will help. I will help fund. I will help maintain. I will help do the cemetery that I want this wreath put on. That's what we're asking. To the best of your ability is what we need.
And just like with the donations, $15 covers the cost of the wreath. But if somebody wants to give you more than $15, that will be greatly appreciated, I'm sure, to help cover some of those costs of the others.
I won't take it.
Yeah.
No, no,
I know better than that.
I said over and over, we will take it. And we've asked this year if any amount you can give up to the 15, or if you want to take a whole cemetery like some churches have done, or several wreaths. Matter of fact, I went today and I picked up money, someone sponsoring several wreaths. We need that, especially this year.
Now, once you put the wreaths and the flags out, how do you go about the process of collecting those wreaths and flags?
Can we start about when we want to try to get this done?
Okay, let's do that.
We want to try to have the flags out by Pearl Harbor Day.
Okay.
Not on Pearl Harbor Day, but by Pearl Harbor Day.
Well, when is Pearl Harbor Day?
December the 7th.
Okay, there we go.
December the 7th. So we're not going out on Veterans Day, November 11th. We're not going out then.
Okay.
We want to go out and get them out by Pearl Harbor Day. And I say that because if a school or a church want to use kids, they choose their own time. But we ask by Pearl Harbor Day.
Okay.
But I will send you messages about when we're going to do the Douglas City Cemetery for flags and wreaths, okay? Now, once they get out, by the middle of January, message will also, and the points of contact will know, we want to take them up then or when they start turning brown.
Right.
And we normally have a drop box, and we will have a big dumpster at Post 18 on the Nichols Highway.
Okay.
But we'll take them, they will be taken away and disposed of.
Okay, all right. So you not only do you need help putting the flags and the wreaths out, you also need help gathering the flags and the wreaths at the end.
That is correct.
All right.
That is correct.
That's good. Now, how has, we mentioned about COVID-19 and some of the things that you can and can't do, but how has COVID-19 affected Post 515 and some of the efforts that you do each year for our veterans here in the community?
Well, not only has the CDC and state guidance sort of gave us marching orders, if I may say, so has the American Legion told us what we should and should not do.
Right.
So one of the things is we shut down our building for public use.
Okay.
Because could you imagine, once the public get in, there's no contact tracing or nothing, and
Right.
you got a virus. So what we've done is to get in our building, one, mask is required. When you come through the door, hand sanitizer there.
Right.
Temperature checks are done.
Okay.
And then we don't have chairs out like we normally do. If you come sit, you take your chair, you sit. When you leave, you clean that chair yourself before you leave the building.
That's right.
So
Clean up after yourself.
That's what we're doing. So, you know, in the
Okay.
past, we have tables, chairs, sit, but, you know, so that's how the exit. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is we're adhering to the guidance that we received to try
Right.
to prevent this virus from spreading in our American Legion.
Okay, so that probably means that, you know, even though you are maintaining the guidelines and everything and social distancing, veterans still have needs. So what are you doing in that area to continue helping your veterans?
Well, let me say, we're doing everything we can to help them.
Right.
But I would ask every veteran to consider joining an American Legion somewhere because of the American Legion purpose. So what we've been doing is the veterans have been calling me and talking to the commander, and I or the commander will meet them there and see what their needs are and give them counseling.
Okay.
We haven't been transporting veterans to and from like we've done in the past.
Right.
But we've done the counseling. We've supported families that by attending, you know, funerals by social distancing because, you know, veterans still need to be honored.
They do.
So we presented flags. We've presented
We have.
American Legion resolution to veterans, members of our posts.
Okay.
Well, we've done that, and scholarship. We've been able to present our scholarships, but not celebrate them like we've done in the past.
Right.
The fifth grade essay, we did that. Commander got involved in a project with the Lions Club when they're delivering meals. So we identified veterans. We've been picking them up, taking them to those veterans on those dates. And we just did a dignified flag disposal, not burning, a dignified
Right.
flag disposal. We disposed of over 1,000 flags.
Wow.
And ceremoniously did that. We have planned, again, I got contacted by a couple of churches, and they assured me and guaranteed that we can get in and get out without mixing and mingle, and they got small group, they're social distancing.
Right.
And I'm tell you what they did, though. They said, Jerome, we got a check for you. Will you come?
Yeah.
So you know what my answer was, right?
I'll be there.
I'll be there, but we did talk about the social distancing, so they assured me they'll do that. We're going to do that. And we got a planned Veterans Day to be recorded with the Coffee High NGROTC.
Okay.
We're not going to be able to do the whole program like we normally do in the past, but we're going to have all the components of the program videoed so that they go out to the schools, and we want to try to get it on the local TV also.
Okay.
So that's the plan. I've been assured that we'll be able to get that done. So
Oh, yeah.
we're in the planning to do that.
Okay.
Now, however, there are some things we can't do. We don't believe
Unfortunately.
we'll be able to do, and that's our normal membership meetings. You know,
Right.
we've had our executive committee meeting with the social distancing. I mean, we spread out all over the place, and everybody bring their own, they leave.
Yep.
The Veterans Day meal at the CE Center, we're not going to be able to do that this year, again, for the social distance, and we won't be taking comfort items to the Dublin VA this year, so those of you that got them, if you need to get rid of them or have them safe, guarded, we'll pick them up, but we won't be able to deliver this year.
Okay.
We won't be able to do the Wreaths Across America ceremony in the Ware Center in the gym like we've done before.
Okay.
We're going to video one in our building with members only.
Okay.
We'll do it and have it televised as for the ceremony. Because we still got to honor those veterans.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, we can't do it without it.
Right.
And we're not opening our posts to the public.
To the public.
Yeah, and you know, again, the guidance from CDC, the state, and then the American Legion on top of that. But we
Just
survived.
have to go
so far.
by.
Yeah, we've been doing good.
We don't
Staying
need
busy.
anybody to get sick, that's for sure.
No, we don't. We don't.
We don't. Well, Mr. Jerome, I'm so happy that you were here today, and do you have any closing comments that you want to share with everyone? I can personally speak for myself. Y'all are wonderful people. You know I love y'all. You went above and beyond for me and my family this year, and I hope people realize what you personally and the American Legion Post 515 do for our community, and what a great honor it is for me to know you and Miss Alf. I appreciate it.
Well, we were honored to be there for you and your family, and we're there for every family if possible. But know that we will serve every veteran's family, but because of how we get funds, we do a little bit more for our members.
Right, right.
Because members pay in, and that's every organization, I think.
Yes, sir.
But we were honored. But what I would say in closing, I thank you again for allowing me to come today, and hopefully we can get a message out to the public how much we appreciate them for what they do.
Yes.
Because without them, we couldn't do it. It's never too early or too late to donate.
Right.
Anything you give once, matter of fact, we had $5,000 left from last year that jump-started the Douglas City Cemetery, because several of our large cemeteries right now are in need.
Right.
The Douglas City, the Nichols, the Broxton, the Lone Hill is specifically, Reedy Branch, another one, because we haven't gotten a firm answer. So we need help there in particular.
We need those donations.
Donations.
Yes.
And all donations are tax deductible too, by the way, tax deductible. So, and we can give you a receipt.
Okay.
I remind everyone of the American Legion purpose: service to veterans, their families, and the community, and we take that to heart. Without the help of those organizations we talked about, as far as manual help, the CHS NGROTC, the CCA Leo Club, and the elementary school in Ambrose, we probably wouldn't do as much as we do. So we need more help there.
Okay.
I'd like to leave you with Wreaths Across America mission: remember, honor, teach. And any assistance you need, give myself or Commander Walker a call. Commander Walker's number is 912-381-0547.
Okay.
My number is 912-592-6413. And I ask everyone to remember, freedom is not free.
That's right.
There's a lot of veterans that have gone before you and still serving for the freedom that we have. And we are a veteran serving veterans. And lastly, go vote.
That's right. Go vote. All right. We appreciate it, and thank you for being here. And we'll have you back on soon, hopefully.
Okay.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, and welcome back to the Douglas on My Mind show. I am here now with Ms. Winetta Boulder. She is our City of Douglas City Clerk, Customer Service Director, Customer Care Center Director. She wears many hats with the city. Many hats. But anyway, Winetta, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you coming on. Tell us what a typical city clerk does. Just some of your, your main responsibilities.
Well, actually, most of city clerks are done by population.
Okay.
Because there are some who the finance director, they're the HR director, they're the city clerk. But because we're so fortunate to have those directors, basically my day-to-day duties is just doing open records requests.
Okay.
I do the minutes for the Mayor Commission. I make sure that they stay up to standard for as being ethical. I certify copies of documents. I sign checks. I pretty much keep up with the city volunteer board and committees.
So you're like our record keeper.
Yes.
Yes. You
basically,
keep all
I
our records.
Keep all the records and. Among other things that I do for us, like you say, customer service director. But as city clerk, there is a number of things that we do behind the scene. Right. But basically, it's to make sure that the city stays compliant. That's right, compliant and in order. That's it.
Right. Now, as far as your other duties, is like with the customer care center and the customer services division, tell everybody a little bit about what the difference is between those two, because even I sometimes get them mixed up. But I think you go to one group for one thing and to the other group for the other. So yeah, share that with everyone so they'll know where to go.
It's 4 divisions.
Okay.
There's customer care division.
Okay.
There's the payment center division. There's the billing and AMI division. And then there is the utility tech division.
Okay.
So them as a whole are the customer service department.
Okay.
For customer care, our customers, that's the first person they see or talk with. You can call us at 311 or 384-3302, but we really would love for our customers to just remember 311. One call to City Hall.
Right. and it's unusual because we just actually implemented this. I mean, it's been a few years now, but when we decided to go to the 311 call center or something like that, it was unusual for us because it was something totally new. We'd never had that before.
And I love it because, like I said, when customers are wanting services and they want to do things with the City of Douglas, they don't have time to look up what the phone number is or this and that. So just to remember 311 is big.
Okay.
So they're the ones that you call for information that you may need for city. Sometimes they know city events, they know about utilities. When you come in, they do cut-ons, cut-offs, transfers. They do all the leg work for the utility department. And then our payment center, of course, they take the payments. Our AMI, which is advanced metering infrastructure, we have a person, and that person keeps up with basically all our IT things that's going on there. We are able to tell you with Utility Hawk when your water usage went up, when your electric usage went up. So she basically watches for leaks and those type of things. And of course, billing, they do the billing. And our utility techs, they go out and they check the meters. So we have a department, but one can't work without the other.
That's right, that's right. And even in the AMI, with the AMI coordinator, we just started or got on board a couple of years ago with Utility Hawk, and I think there's another program that citizens can use to actually, monitor their own usage.
And that's Utility Hawk. And we use Tamless for us, but the customer uses Utility Hawk, and we do a little bit of prepaid. It's good some, but a lot of people try to put the City of Douglas with Satilla, and you can't put them together. Satilla has no water. They have no storm water. They don't have sewer.
They don't have trash pickup.
They don't have trash pickup. So when you're getting prepaid, all of that is in one. So of course you can't go paying $5 a day.
Right.
It's just not going to work.
And that is one thing that I think some citizens may not realize. When you get a utility bill from the City of Douglas, it includes several things. It's not just your electric bill.
It includes all of that. So where you with Satilla, you just get electric. Here with the city, you're getting electric, you're getting water, you're getting sewer, you're getting storm water, you're getting trash pickup. Some people have vapor lights. So they have all of that on one bill, a one-stop shop. So they try to, put us with those other utility companies, and we don't do, it's not a light bill, it's a utility bill.
It's a utilities bill, that's right, that's right. Tell us, there's also two other initiatives that you kind of head up, as if you needed one more thing to do. But I think you really enjoy these two groups that I'm fixing to talk about. The Douglas Mayor's Youth Council was formed a couple of years ago, and then also the city decided, hey, you're doing so well with the Youth Council, let's do a Douglas Coffee County Teen Court program. And tell us a little bit about the Youth Council first, and then tell us a little bit about the Teen Court program.
Okay, well, our Youth Council, we're in I believe our third year. And what we do, we get from 9th grade to 12th graders. They put in an application, have to do a 500-word essay, and they tell why they want to be a part of this Mayor's Youth Council. And so once we have sat down, interviewed them, and picked those, we try to do 9. And once we do that 9, then they are actually almost like a replica of the regular mayor and commissioner. So they have a junior mayor pro tem, and then they have the other ones are the commissioners, junior commissioners. So they, it's been really hard this year with the pandemic, and trying to find things that they could do to stay active, because a lot of things that we do with this group is we go on different trips.
Right.
And they go to conferences, and they had so much stuff planned for this year.
And in the past, they've even been to other towns to see how their youth councils work and things like that. And I can imagine with COVID out there, it's kind of been cut.
It has been big. And then once we started doing that, we decided that we'll do the teen court.
Okay.
With the teen court, the youth that are, it's a misdemeanor. Department of Juvenile Justice, they refer us, the kids, they send them to us.
Okay.
That has to be a first-time offender. And they already say, yes, I did it.
Right,
I'm guilty. But where they may pay $1,000 for, you know, speeding or driving with no license, something like that, with us, they only pay $30.
Okay.
Fine. But they do have community service. And one thing that we do is we do a mentoring program.
That's good.
And actually, this mentoring program is still up under us right now. So the mentoring program is for the girls, Fly Girls, which called First Love Yourself, with Jessica Williams. She's like a counselor at the 9th grade academy.
Okay.
And then there's Mike Bazell. He has AIM program, Ambitious Young Men.
Okay. And
he does from 8 years old to 18 years old. So they are really the ones that's kind of keeping us busy for us in Marriage Youth Council. Jessica usually, what they do, the Fly Girls, is actually October 21st is bully awareness. So they're asking for everyone in the community to wear orange.
Okay.
And so that's we're supporting that. We're just against bullying, because that's a lot of things that's going on, and that's what we see in teen court. Is somebody bullying someone or something like that.
I think back in our day we called it peer pressure. And now we call it bullying, but it is almost the same thing.
It's about the same thing. And then with the AIM program on October 25th, that's a Sunday, he's doing a webinar called Proper Planning Equipment. And he has a lot of speakers talking about teaching young men how to change tires, how to budget.
Right.
I mean, he has about 10 or 12 speakers, and it's free.
Teaching young men to become men.
To become men, and that's it. So those mentoring programs have really helped us this year. So it's allowed us to join in with them, and we're able to come up with different ideas, things to do in the community.
That's good. And I'm sure if a community member has a good idea that they'd like to share with you, you'd be open to it.
We will love that. Yes, we will love that. Actually, today someone talked to us about adopting a family for Christmas.
Okay.
So we're going to be probably doing that with the Marriage Youth Council.
Right.
So and actually, we are taking applications for the Marriage Youth Council and Teen Court, because we're getting ready to try to start that back up.
Okay.
But our Marriage Youth Council, we're taking applications until February.
All right. And now, Teen Court, you're mentioning that y'all are getting ready to start back up. Did y'all have to take a recess, or not really a recess, but just stop for a little while because of COVID?
Because of COVID, because Department of Juvenile, they have not did anything. So we are doing the same thing. But our mentoring programs, now that school has started, they have started back. So some of the kids that have been involved in the teen court, we're now at least sending them to the mentoring programs. Okay.
That sounds really good. Well, I know this month is also Customer Service Appreciation Month, and at City Hall in the main lobby, you have something that people can sign up for and get something free. If you'd like to share with everyone what your service promotion is this month.
Yes, what we're doing, we really was trying to encourage our citizens to sign up for the census.
Right.
And so what we ask for them to do is to come in. We're hoping everyone who's in that box is honest. Yeah. But, you know, we don't know. So what we're doing is we have, whoever names we pick out those boxes, they will get a $100 credit on their utility bill.
Wow. And you're giving that away to three people there?
We're actually 6.
6 total, okay.
6 total. We wanted to give, what we like to do, if anybody can come up to us and show us proof that they did do the census, if they can show us a screenshot or something like that, then they'll go in a special box.
Okay.
But if you just want to put in, you'll go in the other box. So it's 3 with the regular box and 3 with the census.
Okay. Okay. That sounds like a really good opportunity for people to take advantage of. I
It
mean,
is.
you don't have to pay a thing. I mean, just walk in and
Well, you got to
fill your
pay
form out.
your utility bill. Just come in and pay your
Right.
because you have to be a City of
Right.
Douglas customer.
Yes.
Yes.
And, well, is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers about the city clerk or anything that's coming up in the future?
The only thing that I do want to end it with is my goal is for this year, because of being so hard with the COVID, really interacting with customers, is my goal is to build our customer service.
Okay.
Build it where we don't want our customers to think that they're just a customer. We want them to feel like they're family.
Okay.
Because there's a difference.
Right.
You know, you come in, you take their money, you go out, but we need to find a better way to interact, because with this 6 feet, with the mask, as people, we're not interacting like we used to.
Right.
So we have to find a way to get a little more personal with our customers. So if any customer has any issues, I say this all the time, especially with the Facebook, they love to put things on Facebook.
Right.
My door is always open. I would like for customers to call me if there's a problem, because a lot of times you say, you get on Facebook, my bill is $600, $700, $800. We look it up, it's a water leak, or you're not understanding what your thermostat should be on. And it's about educating our customers. That's what it's all about.
Okay.
So I just want people to know that you're welcome to call me at any time, 389-3405. Even my city cell, 327-1458.
Okay.
At any time, and call me, because I'd rather for you to talk to me than talk to Facebook.
True. You can probably get a better response by that.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Well, we appreciate it, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back after this. Hi, and welcome back to the Douglas On My Mind Show. I'm here now with Miss Carol Morgan. She is with the Coffee County Historical Society, and she may be a familiar face to a lot of a lot of you. She also helps run the Heritage Station Museum with the Coffee County Historical Society. So welcome, Carol. I'm glad you could be here today. For those people who do not know that Douglas and Coffee County, or just Coffee County period, has a historical society, tell everybody about y'all and what y'all are doing.
Our membership especially is interested in collecting, preserving, and disseminating Coffee County history.
Okay.
Now, people say, well, it's a Douglas museum. I said, well, the museum's in Douglas, but it's Coffee County history. You can't separate the two.
Right.
So,
right.
And we manage the museum. We have volunteers who come up and keep the doors open. With COVID, it's been a little different. And remember, most of our volunteers are retired.
Right.
So that makes it even stranger. But we're open Thursday and Friday from 10 to 2. And, well, Thursday we're open from 10 to 4.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday it's 10 to 2. We had to change because of COVID, because we didn't have enough people to keep the doors open.
So if somebody wants to volunteer,
We'll be glad to have you. Absolutely glad. Saturdays and Fridays are tough times because everybody wants to be with their family or whatever.
Right, right.
But it's only once a month.
and if somebody does want to be a volunteer, they don't necessarily have to be a history buff.
No,
You
no,
also
no,
need
no,
volunteers
no.
to help with other things too.
We have them that range in 91 to age 20.
Okay.
So
All right, that's good.
It's very flexible. Mostly we're here. Thursday is our biggest day because usually we have field trips.
Right.
Of course, we're not doing that right now, but we are in the process of revamping some things, so it gives us some time to work.
That's good, that's good. Well, speaking of the museum, I know each month or each quarter you try to have something different going on. Normally you have different programs and things like that, but with COVID and all, you haven't been able to do that.
No.
But right now you do have an exhibit.
We have a museum exhibit that I think is wonderful. We contrasted 1920 Douglas with 2020 Douglas.
Oh, wow.
The things that happened the 100 years in between, also the high points like the Centennial that went on for 7 days and 7 nights, and they had a play out at the football stadium, their football stadium at that time, and had over 5,000 people in the play.
Oh,
so they had horses and wagons and all. It was just huge. And Exon County also joined in with that because at that time, earlier in their history, they were part of Coffee County.
Right.
But even like the buildings downtown, what was there and what is there, and what's been there in between, is Douglas has changed a lot. For an example, in 1901, there were 2 stores, a hotel, and a courthouse. That was it.
That was it.
Everything else revolved around turpentine steels and that kind of stuff.
Farming.
Yeah, so at that time, probably Nichols and Broxton vied for having as much or more than Douglas did.
Right.
And wasn't long after that, in 1907, West Green had 5 stores. So, I mean, it's just, people think Douglas was always this big, but it was really, really small.
Right, right. Now, your exhibit kind of coincides with this year. Douglas turns 125 on December the 10th, 1895. The city was chartered, and like you said, we didn't start out as a large town by no means. And to hear some of the stories and some of the things we've been doing with trying to get some history on Douglas, it's amazing how much Douglas has grown since 1895.
That's true, and people. When we do our research, the first place we start is old newspapers. But people have to remember what they published in newspapers was a lot of times world or state politics, and then it was who ate dinner with who on Sunday and who went to there and who went to there. It was more of a social calendar. So getting hard news is really difficult. And so that's why when I speak to groups like Rotary Club and places like that, I ask them to get their memories down, because that's the only thing that keeps us knowing, like where the first Coca-Cola plant was in Douglas.
Right.
I mean, things like that we love to know.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we have kind of partnered with Satilla Library because they have a lot of records at the library. If you want to go to looking at history and I mean, you may have to go through microfilm.
Oh, yeah, you have to sit there for hours.
But they've got it, so if anybody ever wants to start researching something historical, I would suggest start off either here at the Heritage Station Museum or either at Satilla Regional Library.
We get a lot of phone calls. First of all, they think we're going to have some money to help them preserve a building or something, and we don't. But we do. A lot of people have donated some things, and we've been organizing files that have not been kept as strictly as they ought to, and we're finding out a lot of things and pictures of a lot of people and places and events, and that is one of the joys of being a volunteer up here.
Right.
You always find something new.
I know I've seen a few times up here where you've had an exhibit and you're like, do you know who this is? Do you know who that is? I mean,
we want to know.
And it helps, yeah.
We need to know these people's names because like my granddaddy would have been 120-something years old, but we have pictures of him and businessmen in Douglas, but I don't know who the other businessmen are.
Right.
Or not all of them anyway. Those kind of things.
So somebody out there may know that's my great grandfather.
And we plan to do that again in the spring. That's when we do our vault project. We're thinking about doing that again to try to get people to come up and just look to see who these people are.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. And right now, I know, like you were saying, with COVID going on, it's kind of hard for us to be able to celebrate Douglas's history this year. But we're still going to turn 125, and we're doing the best we can do right now. Now, there's one project that I just kind of mentioned a couple of programs ago that I was really excited about. It's called Emerging Voices of Coffee County. Now, that has been a multi-year project.
It has been a workhorse.
Right.
it came out of interviews we did in 2013 when we realized that my daddy, Joe Ray, was the last board member that was living that had got us through school segregation integration process.
Okay.
And that's when I said, look how much history we lost. Well, at that time, I was in a meeting with Jim Cottingham and Tom Johnson and T. Cat Ford, and they said, well, we ought to do something about that.
Right.
In 18 months, we had computers set up to do interviews. We had a grant to do all that. Cat is wonderful at getting money from people in grant writing.
That's good.
But it took us 2 years of interviews. Anybody that had been through this process themselves in school, adults from that time, children from that time, sheriffs, policemen, all that, and we compiled that, and it has become, we got a lot of help with Georgia Tech, Dr. Clough, and Francis Lott. They got us some grants there, plus the Georgia Humanities gave us grants. And we developed a website, and the second part of it's going to be up soon, but you can go and look at the interviews. You can see film clips. You can hear our illustrious governor at that time. You can do all kinds of things on that site. And I know it's a long site name, but the people that sponsor it for us, they selected it.
Right.
So we had no option in that.
Hey.
But it's very easy. It's Emerging Voices of Coffee County 50th TH anniversary.
Yes.
It kind of gives you that this is what it is. You have to go to see it to see what it's the anniversary of. And last year was the 50th year of integration.
And it's really interesting.
It
I
is
enjoyed
very
it.
interesting. I learned that. I was in college when it happened. That's how old I am. But I learned things I never knew before.
Right.
And several of, I guess we were also insulated in our lives that we didn't look at what somebody else was doing.
Right.
But it was just amazing to me. Amazing, the things and the changes. And the general, there was no violence. And that's what Albany had violence, a lot of places had violence. There was no violence here.
That's good.
There were some hard feelings and all that kind of stuff. Any kind of change does. But I was just so pleased to learn that.
Yeah, yep. Now, you're also, I've asked y'all to help with a little bit of a project for the 125th anniversary, and part of it is part of the exhibit that you've got going on, and we're also trying to work, or you are trying to work, I hate to say we, trying to work on a sort of like a story vault.
Yes, we're trying to contact people that will come in and tell us about life in Coffee County when they were growing up as a child, as a teenager, all these kind of things. And we have some funny questions. I had several older adult friends of mine, they were late 80s, early 90s, decide on some questions like, what was dating like when you were a teenager? Right. The simple things like this. But one of the reasons that I am such a history buff is my granddaddy used to tell us stories. Everybody, we've all heard these stories. And one of the greatest mistakes I made in my life at 15 and 16 was wishing he'd hurry up and shut up. Right. I mean, you know, and now you wish you had him back so he could answer these questions for you. That's what this vault is going to do. Right. It's going, maybe 100 years from now, somebody will be sitting here telling what they read or heard about in the vault. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do, hopefully, video like this, as well as just auditory, because some people prefer that. Right. But I'm excited about this project, and I've got a lot of people that show interest in it. We hope, we're waiting until COVID, because everybody's more leery about doing this at this point in time. Not that there's going to be a lot of people around, but you know, they just are. And they're older people. That's who I'm starting with. So if you know anybody 85 or older, you let me know, and I'll put them on my list.
See if you can get them to come in.
So see them, get them to come in and talk. Because that's the best way to do it. Oral history is one of our things that are falling back because nobody shares stories anymore, and the younger people are not getting an appreciation of the past.
That's right. That's right. And also, like you're saying, the whole oral history, sometimes that's the only history you have.
That's it.
I mean, if we can't find it on
we did an oral
newspaper.
History of West Green, and how we did that, we just went around interviewing all the older people because there was no newspaper in West Green.
Right.
And you'd have a little blurb in the Douglas Enterprise, maybe 2 sentences a month or something like that. But the oral history was the way we had to go. And it's amazing the stories people tell you and say, now don't print this. But it's funny that they're real protective of their families or their history and that kind of stuff, but they want you to know about it.
Right, right, yep. Don't put it down right now,
No,
but maybe later.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait till Aunt Susan's dead 10 years,
Yeah.
and then we can talk about it.
All right, well, Carol, if somebody wants to get involved with the museum, or if they have someone they want to refer to you for the
we have a
story vault.
Facebook page. It's Coffee County GA Historical Society. I had to stop and think there for a minute. But my phone number is 381-1135. I'm like Jerome. I think everybody already knows it because it's on everything the museum sends out. I text and call. If I don't answer, I'll get to you sooner or later. We also have developed Coffee County Days Gone By, where the general public can post old pictures or information, and we get a lot of feedback and information from those. Sunnyvale School that was in Ambrose, they had it on there that they're looking for information, and I just happened to have a picture of the Sunnyvale School with a class on the porch.
Oh, wow.
So those are the kind of things that we really liked, is that interaction.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting. And I did notice the other day that the Historical Society had put up a marker at the
We have done a marker at the 9th grade academy. It's one of the few Rosenwald schools left in the state of Georgia. Julius Rosenwald was a part owner of Sears and Roebuck, and he worked with Booker T. Washington to build schools for the black students who were usually underfunded, their schools were.
Right.
And they did this that the community had to give money, labor, and property, or one of those three, and the school board had to maintain. I am so blessed, and we're so lucky that the Board of Education throughout all these years has maintained that building as it was on the exterior.
Right.
And this is a jewel. There were 5 schools in Coffee County built with this Rosenwald money. And there's been some mention of them even renaming that building, the Rosenwald building.
That would be good.
But that was something that we've worked on. We raised, people gave silent donations and everything because we paid for the sign and had it put up.
Right.
And the board allowed us to do that. Kudos to them. But we were just real pleased with that.
Right.
Very
So
pleased.
somebody may have some hidden history that they think that nobody really wants to hear about, but it could be major history.
It could be.
I mean,
The Polk family is the one that told us about Rosenwald schools. Mr. Billy Polk, in the early part of the 20th century, donated land for that school, and his ancestors were there when we put the sign in the dirt.
That's good. That's awesome.
And just a happenstance.
Right, right. Wow. Well, we really appreciate you being here, and it
enjoyed
sounds like you've got lots of history, so I hope you're planning on being one of those in the story vault, maybe.
Well, we may have to dub that a little bit.
But I appreciate you being
You're
here,
most
Carol.
welcome.
Thank you, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the show, and this is the end of our show for this this month, and I appreciate you all tuning in and watching, and I hope you found some very important information, and we look forward to seeing you next month.